nothing that Baki can do to harm his father, and his father easily bombards him with blows. This is a fight that's quite hard to watch, with Yujiro seemingly being proven right about his son's weakness.
What's going on, y'all? It's the guy. We're back with another ViniiTube video. Today we're reacting to best father versus son moments in anime. Hey, y'all ran that last ViniiTube video up, and I just like to say I appreciate y'all like so much for doing that. I don't know what to expect, because you know, I genuinely don't know what to expect. I'm not gonna lie. So let's just get straight into it, bro.
In battle shonen anime, there are tropes. You know how it's almost always the main hero fighting the main villain, and fate will bend backwards all the way to make sure that will happen. There's also the designated girl fight, because a lot of times it's the female members of the good guys team and the villains who would inevitably end up fighting. I think that those tropes need no introduction for you, but here's something that I've noticed, and it's going to be our topic for today's special video. It's the father-son duel. With shonen anime's insanely large cast of characters, the long run, and the inevitable clash of ideals, it's not too uncommon to have a key battle in the series be one featuring a father-son duo. At times it comes out as a grudge match, while other times it comes out as part of a training session. Today we're going over 8 of the most notable father versus son moments in anime. But before we get started, I'm here to urge you to hit that like and subscribe button.
Bleach?
まだ銀刀を隠し持っていたのか。随分と用心深い。
I thought he was that nigga from he looked like that nigga from Jujutsu Kaisen, or the nigga from Jujutsu Kaisen like him.
While I wouldn't consider Ichigo and Ishin's relationship to be full of tension besides the bickering, the same can't be said of Uryu and Ryuken. The two Quincy's just don't get along too well, and then have a heartfelt duel early on in the Arrancar arc. This battle features a depowered Uryu trying his hardest to just defeat his father through his wits. Give this guy some respect. Even without his Quincy powers due to the events of the Soul Society arc, Uryu still manages to come up with some creative ways to try and beat his father. Ultimately, I still consider the battle a win for Ryuken, who manages to defeat his son by overcoming all those tricks I just mentioned,
like a grown killer,
only to reveal that it's all an elaborate training arc of sorts. In the end, despite their less than stellar relationship, Ryuken had intended to restore his son's powers by taking the latter to the limit.
残念だったな。終わりだ。
Oh wow, golly, yo son.
Before we continue, I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsors of this video, Alchemy Stars. Alchemy Stars is
I love you. Get your money, bro. Get your money, bro. I think about it, bro. My nigga Sanji. Happy feet. Ugh. Weave.
Let's take a look at One Piece now, shall we? Specifically Sanji versus Judge. Not too long ago, in One Piece standards, we got another epic father-son battle to add to the gauntlet, with Sanji finally getting his hands on his father, who he's not on good terms with, and that's putting it lightly. Sanji hates his neglectful and abusive father, and that all comes to a boiling point when they finally battle each other. The two had a back and forth duel after Sanji reaffirms his
Sanji really be like just going out and fighting niggas with swords and knives and spears and shit, and just be using his fucking feet and legs. Like, how strong are these motherfuckers, yo? Like, what?
Empowered by unpleasant memories of his youth, Sanji manages a furious recovery. However, he gets caught off guard by his father's soldiers, and that's what leads to his defeat. From a storyline perspective, it would make sense at that point of the story, but I personally want to see him break through those walls soon. I think that eventually you could potentially see him overcome that final hurdle and complete his character arc.
Your leg just unscathed, bro.
Up next is another tenuous father-son duo, Baki and Yujiro.
まるで子をおぶる父親の姿のよう。
For Baki, the greatest opponent that stands in his way to greatness is no other than his own father. His father Yujiro, the strongest fighter in the world, is such a monster of a man that matching up to him, much less besting him, is quite practically an impossible feat. It's amazing what high standards our protagonist puts himself up to, and we'll soon see how far the distance between the two of them are in this battle early on in the series. Despite all the training that Baki had to undergo in preparation for the battle with his father, everything comes crashing down as soon as the battle begins. There's just nothing that Baki can do to harm his father, and his father easily bombards him with blows. This is a fight that's quite hard to watch, with Yujiro seemingly being proven right about his son's weakness. Even more painful, though, is seeing Baki's mom stop the fight only to get killed for her efforts. Yet let's just say that Yujiro's not exactly the model dad, but he sure makes a great ultimate villain for our hero to endeavor to beat.
What? Wait.
I only talked about his son's blows. There's just nothing that Baki can do to harm his father, and his father dashing down as soon as the battle begins. There's just nothing that Baki can do to harm his father, and his father easily bombards him with blows. This is a fight that's quite
that was wild.
Weakness. Even more painful though is seeing
like this part,
mom
like
stop the
you got nuts of steel. First of all, like what? That didn't phase you at all.
Let's just say that Yujiro's not exactly the model dad, but he still makes a great ultimate villain for our hero to endeavor to beat.
Gave her the Omni-Man.
Since we're on the topic of classic anime, let's continue with Yusuke vs Raizen. Among the numerous arcs of Yu Yu Hakusho, the Three Kings arc is one of the less renowned ones. Now that doesn't mean that it's devoid of some key moments and memorable fights, however. One such fight is the battle between Yusuke and his ancestral father Raizen. After the appetizer of a battle, Yusuke and his team go on to meet Raizen for their battle. It could have been a mistake on Yusuke's part, as he gets absolutely trounced in this battle. Despite all that Yusuke's been through in terms of becoming stronger, he still realizes that his father's strength far surpasses his, despite the father not even being in peak form. This pushes Yusuke into a training arc, only to be disappointed when it's time for the rematch. Despite Raizen nearly killing Yusuke in their second meeting, the former simply explains some important revelations to his son before shortly dying due to starvation. Yeah, such a shame we never got to see the fight between father and son when they're at their peak powers now, isn't it? Then again, who are we kidding? Raizen's probably going to run away with it, considering how peak Raizen is, and is probably the strongest being in the Yu Yu Hakusho universe.
Bob. Golly.
We move on from that one to the next battle, Gaara vs Rasa. The Battle of Sand Wielders is one of the early highlights in Naruto's 4th Shinobi War. Reincarnated by Kabuto, Rasa gets sent to fight the allied shinobi forces. It's just fitting that his major battle would be in the form of a duel with his own son. Gaara and Rasa was just a thing of beauty, and a great battle between two sandbenders, so to speak. It's a battle that makes it seem that the father is in control throughout, and he moves on to finish the job with the techniques he's used to defeat the One-Tail. However though, to his surprise, he realizes too late that his son is no longer who he once was. Realizing some regrets as a parent, Rasa finally succumbs and gets resealed after a climactic scene. But before doing so, however, he gets to share a very tender moment with his son, where he congratulates the latter and expresses his apologies.
Wow, I was not prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for that at all. The last one just ended so, like, shitty, you know? Like, like...
Next in line is Goku versus Gohan.
Super interesting. This is kind of clean though, I ain't gonna cut.
How could we not include probably the most iconic father-son duo in anime? Goku and Gohan had a lot of history, and my favorite among those moments, besides the passing of the torch way back in the Cell Saga, is the Dragon Ball Super fight. In a bid to become stronger, Gohan passes on more training with Piccolo in order to have a more challenging test. A tag fight just doesn't do it, so Gohan proposes an all-out battle against his father. Goku in Super Saiyan 2 is already a humongous challenge to have in front of you, but Gohan just knows no backing down and still manages to keep pace. This forces Goku to bring in Super Saiyan Blue, which Gohan...
Jesus Christ. Oh shit, hold on.
Responds to by powering up even more. At the end of the clash, Goku reigns supreme, but Gohan more than earns some newfound respect from his father. I think the fight, with its responses of power-ups and display of sheer destruction, helps encapsulate why a lot of people love Dragon Ball so much. The cool thing about the fight is that it's not just a battle of strength, it's Gohan's attempt to show the fruits of his growth and the reaffirmation of his vow to keep pushing himself and his father to greater heights. Among the father-son fights in anime, I think that few can come close to the emotional stakes of Grey versus Silver.
Damn!
It's been a long time coming, and with the culmination of Fairy Tail at hand, it's only right for Gray to finally have his long-fated showdown against his father, who's long believed to be dead. It's the battle of two top-tier ice wielders in Fairy Tail, and it's just full of hype. I know Fairy Tail's been notorious for some of its fights, but I think that the fight between Gray and Silver is one that didn't disappoint. As expected from two people who know each other's moves very well, the fight ended up being touch and go, with both fighters countering each other's moves. Silver gets the upper hand for a stretch, but powered by his resolve and memories of the past, Gray wins after some clever buffing and the technique valibrates. I like this fight because it feels like the culmination of Gray's backstory that started all the way to the second arc of the series. It caps off a long journey on a plot point that I honestly think that the author had forgotten, but we did get some closure and some feels along the way.
What is this? Oh my god.
Kamui and Umibozu's history stems from way back. They've never been each other's best friends ever since the time Kamui was much younger, and it all came ahead towards the end of the Rakuyo decisive battle arc. The sudden appearance of Kamui sparks a battle between father and son, and you can just feel all the pent-up emotions overflow with each move they do. For Kamui, it's a battle of redemption, a way for him to prove that he's come a long way and has become far stronger than his father could imagine. The fight was looking like something that would end when one of the two died, but Gaara manages
I swear, bro, it's like every time I watch a ViniiTube video, it's like he puts me on to an anime like I kind of started watching already, or just haven't watched, and I start watching that anime again. I just neglect all the other anime I had to watch. So god damn, I want to watch Gintama. Get
stop
some
the battle
more
and appeal to their familial bonds.
The guy got on my ass in the comments about Gintama, and I was just
so that's it for today.
I guess
Pretty much
I have
a
to
video
watch.
befitting the occasion of Father's Day, everyone. If you're up for more special videos like this, please comment with your suggestions. Otherwise, feel free to talk about other stuff like your favorite father.
He really meant that comment, bro. I could really tell. He put his heart in that goddamn comment, bro. No, that was fate. That was fate, where the dude was just like, hey, bro. That was fate. I fucked that up. But that's the end of the video, y'all. If y'all enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe. We do shit like this all the time. And yeah, we're close to 1,000, so let's hit that. You know what I mean? It's me, what Trey got, and I'm going. See you. Peace.